God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. This is Chris from Liverpool, New York. First, huge fan of the podcast website. Everything you do. I'm signed up for a webinar on the 1st. Looking forward to it. Just thank you for everything. I'm new, looking at my first product, potentially being a supplement or gum or candy form. And just wanted to inquire if there's any type of certification or authentication as far as the quality of the manufacturing that can be verified. And also if there's any type of inherent or added risk with a consumable on my end, as well as if there's any sensitivity with Amazon with this category of consumables or supplements. That's it. I appreciate it very much. Again, thank you for everything you do, and I look forward to hearing the answer. Thank you very much.
Well, hey, Chris, another New Yorker. What's up, man? Thank you so much for being a listener. And I do appreciate the question, and I do have some thoughts on this. My very first thought is this: anything that is consumable, be very, very careful, and it's going to definitely require more, I don't want to say work, definitely more making sure that you are covered, because this is risky in a sense. It is. Whenever you have something that goes in someone's body, it's very risky. Especially, and I hope that in this case that you wouldn't be doing this, if you're sourcing something from China or another country, like, oh man, I don't know. I would not do an ingestible from another country. I personally would not do that. But whenever you do decide, or if you do decide to go down this road, you are going to have certain certifications. You are definitely going to have that stuff, and you're going to have to make sure that your factory is within, the FTC, and like there's a lot of things that go into that. And you have to be careful. You have to also make sure that you're covered legally, just in case something did go wrong. You would never want, one person to break out and get into a rash and then irritate their skin and then have skin damage for the rest of their life. And then you're basically liable for that. And this goes for anyone out there listening that might be getting into something that's, going in the body or even on the body, a skin cream or anything like that. Like, you got to be very, very careful with that stuff. Your risk level goes up. I did have Michelle Love on the podcast, and she is a insurance agent and broker, or I think she's a broker. Anyway, Michelle, if you're listening, I apologize for that. But I had her on the show, and she does handle liability insurance. She would probably be a great one to contact to ask her opinion on this, because she will be able to say, listen, this is what you need to have in place to even, just to make sure that you're covered. But then also she might also recommend that you might have to do certain other things to cover yourself legally. Even though she's not an attorney, she's probably been through this before to make sure that you're covered 100%. That episode I will link up in the show notes. So if you guys want to know more about liability insurance or any of that stuff, and that interview I did with Michelle Love, I'll link up her interview that I did with her and all her information on the show notes page to this episode. Which is actually 319. So theamazingseller.com/319. All the show notes and links will be there for everything that we discuss, there's a lot that we're discussing here today. But yeah, I would definitely say, you want to reach out to someone that's been through this, that has dealt with ingestibles, things that are going in the body or on the body. You got to be careful. And I would not feel comfortable here just saying like, just, throw it up there and, start selling this stuff. I would definitely not do that. The other thing I just want to make you aware of is this will be more obstacles that you will need to overcome. So anyone else that's listening and they're thinking about their first product and they're new at this and they want to go down this path, understand this is a whole nother path. Like yes, you can go to, a supplement company and buy something off the shelf and then, private label it and do that whole thing. But honestly, if you're getting into supplements or any type of, creams or lotions or anything like that, your product just needs to stand out. It has to do something. You'd be better off having a face to the business, because then the face of the business can talk about why the ingredients are so good and all of this stuff, and maybe some of your clinical studies. And like, there's a lot that goes into that. We've dabbled in it, and I'm not going to lie, we still have a couple right now in a brand that we're in, and we kind of backed off of it, to be honest with you. We're still selling about 5 a day, but we had to bump up, certain liabilities, stuff on the actual supplement. And, that plan for us didn't really work out as planned. And as we got into it, I was like, I'm not really sure I want to keep going down this path. It's a good product. It was custom formulated. We had someone that was a dietitian that worked with us, and, all of that stuff. And I actually take the supplement. So, with that all being said, it's still a tough road to go down. And I would just be careful with anything like that. And any claims that you make need to be backed up. And there's just a lot of other things that go. And I'm not trying to sit here and discourage anyone that wants to go down this road. I'm just trying to let you know that there are things that you're going to have to do, and it's going to be a longer road and probably a bumpier road. But if you're up for the challenge, then just make sure that you cover all the bases and go out there and create a great product that helps people, and the rest will take care of itself. You just have to follow that course. So, all right. So I think I went on long enough about that. Just want to make sure that anyone listening really understands that, you want to be careful on that, because, you could be liable, totally can be liable. And again, the first step I would do is I would contact someone like Michelle, and that Michelle Love that I interviewed, and I would definitely just ask her, like, I'm thinking about doing this product. This is what it does. What would you recommend I use for a liability insurance? What is that going to cost me? What other things should I have in place? Like, I would definitely dig into that before I would ever make a purchase. So that way there, Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. But what I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.